We are live. It is 1:11 Central Standard Time in the United States, 7:11 BST in the UK. It's Nomad Talk Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you this Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, delayed there.
Yeah, Saturday the 20th. So, we
you heard that right.
Yep, Joe's busy with stuff tomorrow. I got a couple things to do. So instead of going 2 weeks and not have a show, we decided to go off on a Saturday. I know Saturdays are problematic because people are out and about, working, doing stuff. So, that's okay. It's really an audio podcast, folks. That's really what this was. So we thought we'd go. Maybe we didn't want to strand everybody with not having some of the Nomad Tech project for 2 weeks without some kind of hiatus or break or vacation. So we thought we'd give it a shot, swing on in on a Saturday and see what happens. It's a little earlier than normal, so maybe for other people, maybe this is and again, this is one of those things where if Joe's schedule, my schedule can probably accommodate it most times. Usually on a Saturday, I'm not always busy. And if we go a little earlier, like at 1, I don't know, maybe we go back and forth a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we change it up a little bit. I don't know. So we'll get some feedback from
Yeah, I can switch it up a bit. Saturdays, if I'm working all day, I don't get home till 7. So 8 o'clock Saturday can work.
Yeah, so like 2-8 might be all right. So we'll see. Well, like I said, so we decided to jump on today and give them what they want, which I don't know why anybody would want this show. God love you people for coming in and putting up with this every week, but that's what it is. So here we are. Lots happened. Let's see what happened. In the tech world, we had Samsung unpacked, right? So they got some stuff going on. Then we had, I guess I've seen more official, what I call leaks of the new Pixel Fold. The camera housing is a little different. I think that's probably going to be
but the cameras themselves don't seem to be too different.
Right. Well,
let's see for official launch, but they don't look too different.
So I guess that event's coming up in a couple of weeks, right? I guess the 13th. So we'll see how that happens. Also, England lost in the Euros to Spain.
All right, Sam. All right. We lost to the best team in the tournament. So, I don't know how we got to the final anyway. So,
and also you didn't get your doors blown off. It wasn't like it was 4-0 or it was a pretty good match. It was. And I was showing Joe the whole time, and I proved it because I was making commentary on what was happening. I was watching the match. See, there you go.
He was.
I was paying attention.
He had his top off with an England flag drawn on his stomach.
Right, it was awesome. I had 2 lions just because I forgot it was 3. I couldn't remember, so I screwed that up. But other than that,
so you had 2 lions. I didn't know you did coke. So I'm bloody hell.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I got to do anything to try to prepare for an England loss. So if I can, So anyway, it's a shame. I was literally, and then also we had the Copa America. I forgot who won. I think it was Argentina.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was the same day.
So well, did they?
No, and how many touchdowns did Spain win by? I don't know, 2, 3. I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't see any touchdowns happen. It was only 2-1. So no touchdowns. It's kind of cool.
Nietzsche showing his love for soccer.
Yeah, cricket. Anyway, so so we had that going on. Somebody got shot at, so that was kind of interesting. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks in stuff.
So where do we start? Where do we start then? I think we go with Samsung. A lot of Jermaine said just now, you forgot that Samsung had an event.
Yeah, and we also yesterday, or on Friday, well, it was yesterday, had the CloudStrike issue, which, again, didn't affect a lot of regular people's computers, but happened to really affect some airlines and hospitals and booking and government and all sorts of stuff.
Affected us early on.
We had an effect, but it was kind of limited. So, but anyway, luckily, it's if it happened at home, most people don't have CloudStrike installed on their personal computer. But if you did, there's a workaround for it. It's a lot easier when it's just one machine. When you have to manually go into every machine in your network and do it. If you get thousands and hundreds of thousands of computers, that can be a pain in the butt. So that kind of sucks. Hold on 1 second. I got scratches at the door. That's my dog. Hold on. Come on, guys. In here.
That's the little track I play when you leave for a sec now.
Yeah. All right. I have a soundtrack. That's cool. So yeah, the Samsung event. We have obviously we've got the Flip and the Fold 6.
Yeah.
There's some changes
So
to the Flip.
being a
and the
flippy
Fold.
dippy fold guy, what's your thoughts?
I mean, it won't be enough for me to upgrade from the 5. If I
Well,
were going to go to an upgrade, I'm more interested in the Fold 2 just because it's not. It's a totally different setup, right? It's a Pixel, right? So that and then also would have the G4, but with the and I was hoping they would kind of. I mean, they did widen the front screen, the cover screen a bit. I still don't think it's enough. I think
it's very minimal, if I'm honest. The Fold 6 you're talking about, yeah, it's very minimal.
And the Flip, I have, we actually now have, the Razor 50 Ultra, or the, whatever they're going to call it in the US, I guess the Razor Ultra.
Which you prefer, right?
I prefer. I mean, I did have the Flip 4.
Yeah, it was 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, again, it just felt like a Samsung device. It didn't feel, but I did like it. I did think that the feel and the build was just a little better than the Moto that I got. But I just like the software experience. And I like Moto, and the only thing I don't like, and I finally got Android 14 during this time, so that's kind of cool. I think it was actually the same day of Unpacked, or like right around it. It was kind of interesting. So Unpacked happened, and here comes the launch. Here's the software, and it's an unlocked phone, so it wasn't like I had to wait for AT&T, right? That's an unlocked Moto. I just find it hilarious that the day of the Samsung event is the day that the 14, they're showing off the Flip 6, and there's the Android 14 update. I don't think that's coincidental.
No, it's not. Certainly not. But with the Flippy Dippy and the Fold 6, I do like the boxy finish on it. It is quite clean when you see it in person. It does it looks a nice finish on it.
And everybody talks about, well, how's it going to feel having the that corner, but if you look at the current Fold 5, this corner is pretty square. And that's when I'm holding it, that's what's in my palm, right? So if I'm holding it, now if I'm holding it right-handed and I'm talking, then obviously it's going to be the opposite rounder corner. But I don't know. I've never found that to be, I've had other phones that have had sharper corners like that. Like for instance, the Lumia 1520, that's polycarbonate, and that thing was to a point. I mean, it was pretty, and I never had problems like with fatigue or pain, like holding it. I don't know, and I've been on the phone for quite a while with somebody, talking to people, and it never seems to. I don't know. The square never, people.
Wait, you actually talk on the phone?
I actually talk on the phone.
People do that.
Yeah, people do. Well, older people and professionals do. I mean, I don't know. Young people don't. But I have to make phone calls, right? And I do talk to people. So
just quickly before we move on from there, Sam, do you see people in the US do this?
Oh, yeah. People walk around like this all day. That's just, and then they're on speaker, which is just like, what the hell? I mean, first of all, it's tacky. Second of all, you don't know what's going to be said on that other phone or the line of the call.
Yeah.
There's no way I would be talking about anything that was like a friend or sensitive. Especially the funny thing is, if I knew that you were doing that and we were on the phone, and I knew you were in a public place like a Tesco's or a Walmart or something, I would totally say something or do something completely stupid, so that way everybody could hear you. I would say, well, the results came back. Luckily, I don't have chlamydia, so you might want to get checked out. I would say something like that and just literally embarrass the piss out of people. The people that do that are just. But I find generally, and it might be, I don't know if it's British people or Americans, but I find that to be super insensitive to anybody around you. Like, that's not being conscientious of people. It's like nobody wants to listen to your phone call. Nobody wants to listen to you.
People that don't care. Yeah, that's people that don't care. And you get the same thing with them listening to things on loudspeaker on the bus. That's my big bugbear, I tell you. I hear it all the time, and I feel like going up to them and tapping them on the shoulder and go, "Hey, mate, why don't you buy some headphones?"
Right.
Yeah, it's probably not going to end well, that is it?
No, but yeah, I mean, on a bus or public transportation, again, it's just, come on, man. Nobody wants to listen to that. Nobody's interested, and it's cool. So I don't know. I've never found the square corner to be a problem using or holding a device, and I actually aesthetically, I think I like that better. I think it has I like that look better than a rounded corner.
I think it's a minor problem. Like, even if you don't like it, it's a very minor issue. The S24 Ultra's boxy as well. It's fine.
No, not that old. Close, but not that old. Yeah, Alexander Graham Bell. I was actually receiving. There's another dude in the other room. Actually, it wasn't me.
Sam was receiving. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, God, Joe's in a rare form today, so he's doing lines of coke.
We missed a week. I saved them all just for this week.
Right, we're stressed out about it. So again, it's a typical Samsung event where the two devices they already have, they're iterative, right? It's a little bit of an improvement. Obviously, the higher price. They come out with the Ring, which again is a direct competitor to the Aura Ring or Aura, however you say it. And again,
for folks that do well,
I don't think so. I don't see a lot. I mean, here's the thing. Maybe people wear the Aura Ring more than I notice. I just don't. It looks like a ring, so I really wouldn't know unless I'm like really talking to somebody and really talking, watching their hands and seeing if they have an Aura Ring. I don't know if I would notice. Maybe more people wear it than I'm aware of, and I just don't notice it because it just looks like a ring, and that's the point of that. I don't know.
So for me, Sam, it's for people, the niche people that don't want to wear a fitness tracker or a watch, right? Because if you're going to choose between one or the other, it'd be a watch, right? It's got more functionality. It's got a little screen. So it's going to be for the niche people that don't want to wear a watch but want to track. I don't know. Yeah, but I think them bands are good. Better.
But for me, I have the Galaxy Watch. I don't really use it. I don't take phone calls on it.
So maybe the Ring will be good for you.
Yeah, or like you said, even a band, like you said, I would much prefer a company like a OnePlus or a Pixel. I would prefer a Pixel band, something that just has basic health tracking, maybe some sleep monitoring, and then an alarm, because it's nice that in the morning I can have it. It just buzzes on my wrist, so that way it wakes me up, but it doesn't make noise, so it won't wake up Becky. And have something like that. Plus, you get way better battery life, because again, I have all these functions on my Galaxy Watch, and I just never use them. I don't use my watch. I might respond to a text message. It's really just for notifications. It's really to say, oh, I got a text message. Oh, somebody just called me, and I can. And if my phone's not next to me, if like it's sitting on the table, I can at least know. Oh, somebody sent me a message, and I don't have to have my phone on me at every possible waking second of the day. So that's
you can make a decision. Do I bother checking my phone? No, skip that.
Right. Or you can look over and you can see, oh, it's a message. You can read it real quick because maybe it's just informational.
Important.
Yeah. And it's informational. Somebody's sending you a message, or hey, I'm leaving now, or I'll be there at 6, and you don't have to respond. It's just like, oh, okay, great. And then you can do it.
Cool.
That's what I got out of those Mi Bands. I got that functionality. Plus the band lasted, 7-8 days before I had to charge it again. So again, that's
a factor.
My use. Now, people who have Apple Watches, I think they use them a lot more. I think they're doing a lot more things and all the kinds of stuff that Apple Watches are great.
Well, like you say, your bugbear is people wearing Apple Watches with dresses. That's because they literally wear them 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to wear a watch, you have to make sure that it's appropriate for the apparel that you're wearing. I just think they look. I think an Apple Watch Ultra or an Apple Watch on a woman who's wearing a cocktail dress or an evening gown or a night, it just looks tacky. It just does. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying you have to listen to anything. I'm not exactly. I'm not a fashionista, but I just think it looks goofy. And if you're a man, you can kind of get away with it, but that's why I think that a regular classic. That's why I think if you're a man and you're going out to events and wearing a tuxedo and stuff like that, I think you need to still have a traditional analog watch, an actual real nice. It doesn't have to be a Rolex. It could be a nice Seiko or a Citizen Eco, something really nice, but an actual
dress watch, a dress
watch, something that goes with the apparel that you're wearing. Now, if you're wearing tennis shoes or trainers or a hoodie or whatever, and you're just out jacking around, getting coffee, doing stuff out and about, who gives a shit? But I'm sorry, I've seen a lot of pictures where people are standing there, they're dressed in the nines, they look very nice, elegant, and she's got this goofy looking Apple Watch with an orange rubber strap on. It looks stupid. It just looks
that's
stupid.
what I like about the Watch 6 Classic and this OnePlus watch as well. Actually, it does look quite smart. If I change that band, it look quite smart, I think. One thing, going back to the Ring quickly though, one thing I do like, a feature they've done is they've made it so that go on this.
What What are you talking about? I was in class. I was going to the bathroom, man. Come on. No, anyway. So no, I did not. I was not a hall monitor for Joe Biden. God damn, that makes me really old. He's like 900. Okay, anyway. So go ahead. Yeah, but the ring versus the watch. Yeah. So
the ring. I think Samsung done a really good feature where the ring with the watch. So it takes the data from both, so you get more of an accurate reading. Now that's quite cool. Clever idea. Obviously, Samsung's goal there is to sell more Samsung product, though.
right.
So you get the ring and the watch.
Well, you wouldn't think it'd be totally selfless of Samsung just to say, "Oh yeah, we did." Yeah, clearly, and I do like the fact that here's another competitor that's not just Aura, right? It's Samsung's got a ring. Will it sell and be popular? Here's the problem I have with the Samsung ring. Aura, their only product is the ring, right? So if they stop making the ring, they're gone. Whereas Samsung, it's like they have all sorts of other stuff. So if they get the ring and it doesn't sell in a couple iterations, they'll just ditch it. I mean, it's like the Microsoft Band, right? That Microsoft made the Band and made the Band 2. I loved the Band. I know a lot of people had issues with the Band breaking, some reliability problems, but for me, that is the best wearable I had. It had good battery life. It had a decent enough screen. I liked the rubber. The first one was really square. It kind of but the other one was curved, a little bit. And I thought the Microsoft Band 2 and the software was great. Like, it was really nice to use. I love the Microsoft Band. I had never, and I still have it. It still powers up. Now, of course, the server's gone and I can't sync it to anything anymore. But it was nice. It had all the fitness tracking. But for me, what was nice was it actually had a built-in golf tracker, right? So it tracked holes and strokes and all that. Yeah. It was built in. You didn't have to buy anything special. It was just part of the. I thought they did a really good job, but the problem with when you have companies like that do it is Samsung. A couple of years the ring doesn't sell, they'll discontinue it, and then they'll say, okay, we're not supporting the software or whatever because we're not selling them. So why would we support it? And then you're stuck with this ring that I guess works, but you never know. I mean, I think
they'll have a couple of iterations of it. I reckon. Because I think it would do it well enough for them to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So no, we'll see. I mean, I like the fact that they're making different products. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm assuming that obviously we kind of know about the watch's battery life, right? We've had iterations, so we kind of know it. I don't know how well the ring's battery life would work. I'm assuming the battery is probably has to be pretty freaking small, right?
It depends what size ring you are.
Right. That's another thing too. Is and the thing with the watch is you could get a bigger watch. You can get like a 46 mil watch and still get away with it for the bigger battery life and the better screen. With a ring, you kind of can't do that. If you're like me and anybody in the chat, I'll tell you exactly. My ring is a size 7.5. I have small hands and small wrists and small fingers. I just have. So it's a baby hands. Yeah, I mean 7.5. That's all it is.
They look big like that though.
Yeah, right, but at the end of the day, it's not like I can wear an 11 to get a bigger battery, right? It's just
no. It just doesn't happen.
You're stuck, right? So if you have
unless you tape around it like in the inside.
Yeah, that's a good look. I just
but tape around your finger and then put the ring on.
So I don't know. I'm not sure if the rings battery is any good. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be comparable to an Aura. So if anybody has an Aura ring, maybe it's the same. And I would assume since the battery is smaller, maybe the charger can charge pretty quickly in like maybe half an hour.
The case charges, which is quite cool.
That's so maybe if you're taking a shower and you take the ring off to charge it real quick while you're getting ready and shaving and kind of getting ready for your day, maybe that's all you need. I don't know. Like I said, the concept of a ring sounds good. I don't know if I would want to wear another ring definitely not on my same hand. It'd obviously be in my right hand.
So I was going to ask you though, Sam, with rings, do you take yours off? Like, I mean, I've had 2 rings, one on each hand. I never take them off. Well, that one obviously I don't, but yeah, I never take.
Well, I switched. This is just a silicone little ring thing. So this I take off. So no, I don't take it off very often. It's just a little rubber. See, just rubber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do have my wedding band, but Becky bought this for me because the wedding band, it's nice. And then she bought one. It's actually made of wood. It's like an oak barrel. So it's kind of neat, but it's got a kind of a design on it. And I'm not a big fan of designs. I like rings plain. I don't like jewelry. Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
You don't like that, do you?
It's not my style. No, I don't dislike it. It's just not my style. And yep, okay, that's fair. And so she bought this one. But normally my wedding ring doesn't come off. Like I don't take it off in the shower. I don't take it off. Now, the only time I would take it off if I was, if I knew I was going to be doing something, I could either get it snagged on something, like I was doing something.
Yeah.
Or I knew I was going to be doing like something metal where it could really gouge or scratch it. If I was doing something like it would really like
damage it.
Then I would take it off. But generally, as a rule, I don't know many people who take their rings on and off. I know Becky takes hers on and off all the time because she has a band. We have her regular wedding set, and then but women are different when it comes to that. I think. I
think men and women tend to be a bit different with that. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't take mine off,
and I don't know if women would really gravitate to a fitness ring like this. I don't think. It's not that I don't. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think the look of it is going to appeal to many women. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just I don't know.
So, like I said, I just don't know the Galaxy ring. I just don't know how it's gonna look. Like I'm looking on the website now, because I haven't honestly. I didn't watch. I
wouldn't mind one, but I'm not paying the money for it.
Well, I mean, it's the same reason why people didn't buy the Aura ring. You know what I mean? And it's only 3 colors, right? You got black, titanium black, and you got silver, and then gold, right? So it's a titanium.
Strangely, the finish is different in the US to the UK, I think, and Europe, because your silver one is a matte finish.
Yeah, it looks like the silver. It's gloss. Well, it looks like the gold. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen them. The case is cool. It's like clear. It's kind of neat. Yeah. I mean, you put the ring. That's kind of cool. And obviously, it's it's water resistant.
The case is nice.
Yeah. I can tell you, I don't like the Galaxy Buds. I don't like any earbuds that have a stem. I'm not a stem guy. I just not.
I think they're right.
They look okay. They look okay. I wouldn't buy them, and everybody's like, well, they're capping Apple. I said, well, Apple sells a ton of shit. So
I'll wait for LFA to reviews to see if they're any good. Right. See what he says.
And the Walsh Ultra, not my style. Way too big for me. Again, I have a small, I have small wrists, and this thing it would just look goofy on my wrist. And I don't need a watch like this. Again, because of not the fact that I don't wear a watch like this, or I don't use a watch like this, it would be completely wasteful for me. I'm overbuying everything I could possibly need. So I just don't, like I said, I mean, this all looks great. Honestly, of all the things in here I would be interested in, it would be the Fold 6 if I was going to upgrade, but I just don't think there's enough there to re-upgrade to it.
Going back to the Ultra watch, right? Mm-hmm. Why did they do the orange strap thing and like literally copy Apple? Why did they make that a thing? Like, they didn't need to.
I don't know. No, they didn't need to, but again, and Samsung can sit there all day long, and their PR can say it, and their company can say it. That's fine, but it's clearly designed to start to look like an Apple product. It just is, and
they made it even more obvious by copying the orange band thing and naming it Ultra, and it's just
right. It's whatever. Again, for me, there isn't enough here. I already have a Galaxy, I have the watch, right? I don't use it that much as it is. I don't really need the ring because I don't need a fitness tracker at this point, although it looks interesting. The Flippy Dippy, I already have a Flippy Dippy that works, so the Flip 6 isn't going to be for me. And again, and the watch is just ugly. It's just too big for me. I don't even want the watch I have. I bought it. I've used it for a while. I don't even have it on now. It was charging this morning, and it was fully charged when I woke up. I just didn't put it on because I'm like, I just don't use it. And it's just, and the fact that they aren't really coming to a band kind of stinks. But yeah, the watch is a little big. The strap obviously is an Apple copy, and so is most of that stuff. I mean, the only thing that isn't is the foldables, right? The flippables. Those aren't, because clearly Apple doesn't make that. But at the end of the day, I don't know. The stem, I just don't like stemmed earbuds. I like the ones that, like my Galaxy, not my Galaxy, I'm sorry, the Pixel Buds. They still work. They sound okay.
I've never tried Pixel Buds. I'd like to try the Pros, but never tried them.
And also, like I said, sometimes I'll wear them in bed when I'm sleeping. I sleep on my side, so I've had earbuds that had that stem, and it pops out or it digs into this part of my ear, And so I don't. That's when I buy earbuds. That's something I use them for. Is I like listen to a podcast. Or
I love Soundcore. Soundcore's my
honestly, I had those pair of Jabras for a long time, and I thought those were fantastic. And they were expensive as hell. Yeah, I think that the 60 Ts or 50 Ts, and they were awesome. And then just finally
they're meant to be very good.
And
very good.
Yeah, and they sounded great, and they snugly fit. And then when I would sleep, and they never stuck out or popped out, and then I would run or ride a bike, and they would just I could shake my head, and they not move, just solid. Yeah, and also, I know some of the Pixel Buds though is when I'm wearing them and I have the music. If I have music turned up, Becky can hear it in bed. She can hear the bleed. Whereas when I had the Jabras, either she never said anything or the bleed was minimal. So that's why I use these a lot of times too. But then I wake up.
Column A and column B there. She probably was polite.
Then I'm all tangled up in my damn earbud, right? So so these two. That's I don't know.
Why don't you just do what the guys do on the bus? Just get in bed and be like, "Hey Becky, you right?"
Yeah. yeah. So she'll take the phone out of my hand and throw it across the room. So I don't know.
Maybe worse.
It all looks good. Hey, Eric's in the chat. Well, thanks for stopping by. And Jimmy's in the chat, and Simon and Brad. So we got a pretty good group of folks coming in today. And I know Mike's in the chat. I saw him, and obviously Jerome.
Simon mentioned something I'm excited about, but it's not tech.
Oh, what's that one? Let's see.
We've signed we're meant to be signing a very good Italian player. Very good.
So, yeah. For Arsenal? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I
thought you'd be excited as well. It's an Italian player.
Right. Is he? Well, I mean, does he play on a team already, or is he kind of newer? Is he a newer guy?
He's from Bologna. From Bologna.
Okay.
In fact, he was probably Italy's best player in the Euro. I know Italy didn't play that great, but yeah, he was probably a standout for them.
Yeah.
Just trying to find the message now because I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
Well, I don't know who. Okay, let's see. Hold on.
Where has it gone? It was quite early on in the messages, but it caught my eye because it was Arsenal related.
Is this okay? So it's former player. Let's see. Jorginho? Is that who it is?
Who?
I don't know. I just typed in Arsenal Italian player, and I'm trying to look at and see if there's any notification.
Calafiori.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a centre back stroke left back. But yeah, he's a very exciting signing for Arsenal once it's confirmed. I think it's pretty much done deal.
I don't know. Yeah,
we haven't had an Italian player for a little while as well, so it's quite nice to get an Italian at the club.
Yeah, that's cool.
We love Italians, don't we? So
yeah, we do. We're big fans here on the Nomad Tech Project with Italian. So yeah, I mean Samsung's it's kind of a typical Samsung event, right? I mean it looked like it went off pretty well. I didn't watch it because I don't watch any of those things, and so we had that. And now we've also got the Fold. That's coming out. What else? Oh, I forgot the CMF phone, right? Let's chat about that. That looks pretty cool. I mean,
my friend actually's got that. He's going to do a little review on MeWe about it. John Trimmer, who listens to the show. So yeah, I'll see what his thoughts are on it. Yeah,
I mean, it looks interesting. So yeah, I think it's cool. You have some modularity. It's affordable. Obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the affordable price is really good.
I'm sorry. I was trying to pull up some information, and there was an article that came up, and I have to say this is the kind of stuff that makes me kind of giggle. This is how stupid the media can be sometimes. This is the article.
Share the screen. Come on.
No, I'm not going to because it's stupid, but I'm just going to say it. And it says Trump shooter cause of death revealed. I'm pretty sure we don't need an autopsy to find out that a counter sniper evacuated his fucking skull with a couple of rounds. I'm pretty sure it's probably death by gunshot. I don't know. But we all saw. I don't know. I get it. I guess that's an article. I don't know. It was kind of funny. Anyways, that just kind of caught me off guard. So let's see.
I want to see, Sam. I want you to replicate that image of Trump going like this, but with a Trump wig on. Can you do that for us?
Yeah. I'll just get a mop. Frankly, I'll just get a mop.
That'd be an awesome picture.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that would be merch everyone would want to buy.
right, exactly. Make the Nomad Tech project great again. Nah, it's not going to happen. It was never great to begin with. It's got to be great at some point. It hasn't been. So really make make NTP great, and just skip the again part because we can't be
make it great. Yeah,
we can't ever begin if we never were to begin with. All right, it's all good. But I just thought it was kind of funny.
Sam Trump and Joe Biden.
Trump and Joe Biden. Yeah. No, I don't want that job. I'm good, dog. Yeah, I'm good. Like I said, man, that just seems to be a hassle. Anyway, so I just thought it was kind of funny because as I was looking through to kind of pull up the article about the CMF thing, like Microsoft News, it was like the first thing, and it rotates through. And I was just like, cause of death revealed. Really? Pretty sure I know what that is. Okay, anyway, but it's cool. So we'll have to see. Yeah, Lenoy Bonds. Apparently, he changed his name. Lenny Bonds, 2024. That's right. Make the Celtics great again. But they are. They won the damn championship. So yeah, he should be happy about that. And that's guys because they had a St. Louis kid, So that's kind of nice having a local guy win a championship. That was kind of cool. So anyway, it was a good time. So I think the CMF thing's pretty cool, and I think for people who don't want to spend a lot of money on a budget device, I mean, I figure the modularity is kind of cool, and I'm kind of glad that a phone is going back to kind of having you can change the back and having physical screws and you can attach stuff. I think that's pretty. You can
repair it, can't you? You can.
Yeah. I think it's really slick. Cool. I don't know. It seems like the reviews about the phone itself for it punches above its $200 or $250 price point. I mean, it's a pretty solid device. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm glad that nothing is trying to do that. It's kind of cool. I'm glad to see that they're not just they're going to have a phone that's affordable, but they don't have to make it cheap and kind of plain. It definitely is something to get the attention of people, and I think it's kind of cool, And so also we had the Nord 4?
Yeah. Manos went to Milan for that launch. OnePlus took him to Milan for that. Yeah,
so the OnePlus Nord 4 is out. It looks
Manos went to Milan for that.
Yeah, that's cool. So Manos is, and I kind of like the design. I kind of like that they have just, they gave it a little bit of a different look. You got the different colors, right? You got the accent. I think obviously the only one I think that really looks great to me is obviously the green colored one looks pretty good.
Green's always good.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It doesn't. And maybe it is. I don't know, but it doesn't look like the same green that's on the OnePlus 12.
No, I think they've done something different. Yeah. Yeah,
and all the silver looks pretty nice. But I mean, here's the thing: you get 5G, you got 4 years of. They said the battery's going to be 4 years of healthy, 6 years, fast and smooth. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's got the 7 Gen 3. Okay, that's a good chip.
That's a good chipset. Yeah.
Yeah. They got the LPDDR5X RAM. Right. That's cool. Yeah, I think you got a 5,500 milliamp hour, dude. That finally, after all these years of people complaining about having battery capacity getting larger, I mean, it's 5,500 milliamps plus it's got 100-watt fast charging.
Beautiful.
It's just bonkers, man. It's just like, I'm sorry when you see this kind of stuff, and for people like me, I'm not big into charging. Like I have access to chargers all day long, so I'm never really having battery anxiety. I'm never empty on my phones. No. But I'm telling you, man, when you plug in if you've never used, for folks in the chat, I'm sure most people have at some point either experienced or used a OnePlus or anything with Super VOOC or anything like that. I'm sorry, when that phone has that good of a battery and it charges that lightning fast, it really kind of ruins. Then you go to a phone like the Pixel 8 and you just like, it's like literally.
Sam, this will put it in perspective, right? I'm charging on Super VOOC on this phone that I'm using as my camera, right? And it's actually gaining battery. Any other phone I use, if I charge at the same time, it still loses battery while we stream. This is gaining.
Yeah,
that's how good Super VOOC is.
Well, Michael was asking to join. We weren't going to stay on too long, but I mean, we're going to be on at least another what? We're on at half an hour? Yeah, what the hell? Let me get a thingy. I got to get a thingy.
Get a thingy.
I got to get a thingy. So I got to get the invite here. Hold on a second. Well yeah.
While you're doing that, Jimmy mentioned Man United have bought a new player as well. They bought an 18-year-old Frenchman, for I think it's 52 million.
Okay,
so he's had yeah.
I don't. That sounds like a lot of. I mean, that's a lot of money, but I don't know in the realm of like English football players. I don't know if that's a lot of money or it's like ridiculous or it's like, oh, we usually get guys for like 20 million. I don't know.
It's one of them, right? He could turn out to be an absolute star. But he's very raw at the moment. You know, he's had one full season of senior football, and that's in France. For me, it's a bit of a gamble, but it might pay off.
I mean, I don't know. What? Is that a normal fee for buying a player? $52 million?
I mean, the fees are very inflated now, but for me, so Real Madrid apparently was interested in this defender as well, but they was going to wait till his contract was down to 1 year and offer around 30, which I would say is more reasonable. He's had another year of experience, and it's a more of a reasonable cost, right? But Man United have gone all in.
So how does that work? So does he have to play for Man United? Do they have like a minor league? Can he go down to another? Does Man United have clubs in like the?
If they're spending that money, I suspect he's going into the first team. You don't normally spend 52 million and then put them out on loan. To be honest, they may do, but I think he's earmarked to go into the first team. But to be fair, Man United are a bit of a mess in defence, so they could probably do with.
I guess that's what he's asking. So this will be.
What's that?
He's asking what my shirt says. And so my shirt says, y'all need Jesus. Yeah, so it's all good. Yeah, Mike's here. All right, let's move you to the center. Hey, Michael, how are you doing, sir? Welcome to the midway to the point of the show. But hey, we appreciate you stopping by, as always.
That beard has definitely grown.
I almost forgot because I was like, wait a minute. It's 2:30. What am I forgetting?
Yeah. Well, you're forgetting that this is not a Sunday, so we kind of threw all of that out the window. We started an hour early and, well, actually 2 hours early because we started at 1. And also,
just threw you right off.
We started on a Saturday, which really blew everybody away. So I did post something about it. It was a couple hours ago. So I figured, and I had a feeling that everybody's Saturdays are probably more of either a work day or a busy day or a family day, and people are out, especially in the middle of the day. They're out, running errands or running about. So it's all good. Well, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by.
You guys after last week to figure out when we were going to do things. So
yeah, and that's okay. Well, life happens. So we're not exactly on the forefront of anybody's mind, so it's okay. We figured you got busy.
Not even our own.
Yeah, we didn't forget because we're stupid. Like we don't even pay attention. So no,
it's okay. Prime's video on the CMF phone. He was doing some gaming and he was playing like Genshin Impact at like 30 frames per second on low, which is reasonable for the processor in there. And like when he did some benchmarks and stuff, I was like, okay, so it's got like a third of the benchmarking, but it's also a seventh of the cost compared to like the S24 Ultra that he was comparing it to. So I'm like, I guess if you talked about like performance per dollar, it's not bad. And I was also surprised to see that the display is brighter than this phone.
Yeah.
The Nothing Phone 2a it's about 50% brighter, but the thing is, we all know how those nits work, where it's kind of like that's like what the 1% of pixels that can get that bright versus on higher end it's always benchmarked for like a 10%. So it's a little bit disproportionate, but I think it's a cool concept. The whole HMD thing, though, I was picking on people. I was like, oh, so Nokia copied the iPod Nano because technically the Nano was out in 2005 before like the Lumia 830 and the N9.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's all they could do. They couldn't curve the corners because they couldn't fold the display. So basically, to make it get close on the sides, they just folded it on the sides and curved it around, but they couldn't do it on the top to get the corners. So that's why they kind of, and you can't cut the corners or you mess things up. So you had that shape with the flat top and bottom. That was the only way you could get that design.
Glad you mentioned ETA Prime. I'm a big fan of his channel. He's brilliant. Does some really good stuff. So if you haven't checked him out, definitely check him out, guys. ETA Prime.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think for $250 and you get a little bit of fun, right? You get to change the backs. You can, it's a little hardware screws. You can actually put a different stuff on. I think it's kind of a neat concept, and it's definitely a easier barrier to entry. You can kind of mess with that, and then I think it's probably a solid communications tool. You can clearly game on it, which probably if you're buying that phone, you're probably not thinking about crushing Genshin Impact or Call of Duty or any of these other high-end games. But the fact you can play them decently for a little under $300 total off the door is not bad at all, considering.
I'll have to check that video out. Did he sustain a long period of time with Genshin, or
not really? But like some of the other games, he was playing like Sonic. He was playing.
So he does lots of
Tony Hawk 3, some PS2 games and stuff, and he was getting decent. He was playing at 1x resolution and getting 30, 40, 50, 60. I mean, the thing is, most of the games, the problem he found is they're not whitelisted for the phone. So even if they could go higher, they get cut off at like 30 or 60 because the phone's not whitelisted to go all the way to the 120 yet. So they can't take advantage because the processor that's in that, the GPU is fairly decent in that.
Yeah.
The CPU is not anything. It's got 4 cores that are 2.3 gigahertz and 4 that are 2.0. But the GPU, graphics-wise stuff, pretty much any phone in the last 5-6 years, even at mid-range stuff, can handle most games.
Yeah.
And it's got 8 gigs of RAM, so it's not really that's an issue.
Yeah. The 7 series is always decent. I love the Pixel 5 with the 7 series chipset, and that was a battery beast as well. So I guess the CMF was probably got decent battery life.
Yeah, I'm just glad that there's another entry there in the nothing phone range. But also it's really budget friendly. Really, but also it has something that just doesn't blend it into another budget entry. Like not just like, oh, we just threw a phone out there, we made it really cheap. The fact that you can do all these kind of fun things with it and switch the backs out and kind of for folks like us who remember removable back phones and having phones that could switch the back plates out and stuff like that back in the day, it's kind of a harken to that, which I think is kind of nice. Yeah. It gives it some differentiation in a space that really can get blended in. So it's kind of nice. I'm glad that nothing's doing it. It's pretty cool. So
I like to see different things come out. Like, although we don't think the Ring from Samsung's going to do well, I love to see it.
Well, hopefully I didn't screw up the QC on that and put it out a month.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I guess we're gonna learn the hard way, right? So I know. And then Jimmy said that I fixed it.
What's happened to Michael?
I know he went sideways. It's all good.
What the heck happened?
He's still here though, so that's good. So
it rotated on me all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just
must be a glitch with I'm on my iPad, so there must be some glitch with. I wonder if I rotate it. Hold on.
I know it's funnier like that.
There we go.
Yeah, I guess they only gave it a 6.5.
Doesn't like cameras sometimes on things.
Right.
And then I'm on the iPad Pro M4, and so I don't know if they, with them moving the camera to the side, does StreamYard think that it's still positioned the other way? So they'd have to. I have no idea.
Yeah, we're not sure
how to do that. Is funny enough, when I'd use Dex. Because it doesn't understand the orient, when you rotate the phone, it doesn't understand, so it just wants to keep it in portrait. It would do that, but the Nothing Phone 2A Plus is fascinating. They don't really say much about it. I'm not sure what makes it the Plus.
Is it a tablet?
I don't think it's a larger phone. And then it's funny to me that they put Plus in it, giving the whole disconnection from OnePlus thing.
Right.
So it's 2A Plus, not the 1 Plus.
Yeah.
But I guess you're running out of adjectives for Ultra Plus, Pro. You're running out of super duper. I guess you could call it super duper. I don't know. There's not.
I want to see a beast.
Yeah. Ultra.
Beast phone.
In the formula for smartphones, A equals 1/2 because 2A Plus.
Right. 2A, so it's what? 0.66?
2A plus equals 1.
I have no idea. I'm not a math guy. It's all good. But at the end of the day, it's, how many words adjectives you can have to really describe an Ultra or a Pro or another phone, right?
And the next thing is they're going for, Apple's going for extreme with the next series chips. It's supposed to be 2 of the M Ultra chips combined together.
Okay.
Like, you can only go so far with terms before you run out of like superlatives and you start going into made up words that don't exist.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
can call they can call it the extreme. Now, if they do the extreme, they must and be required to just say extreme. They can't actually have the word because that would be too cool. They'd actually have to make it completely lame and go extreme and like X
And
and
it'll
a
be
little
double E.
extreme. Yeah, something like that.
Stream.
Yeah.
They could also do that and then bring back to the good old days where it was the silver X for the early for like Mac OS X when they had the cool animations with like the blue background and all that, and just do the like a silver X for their chip logo or whatever. But and then I don't
It's a
think they
little
want to do
close to
that
X
because
Elite
there's
though.
the X Elite. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I was
Like,
just gonna say. We don't
Yeah,
want to go
so
the X route.
you can just call it
or
the Microsoft FA, and they say, "What's FA?" It's like fucking awesome. That's what it
or
is.
any
Yeah.
connection to Elon Musk with X. That'd be the other trick.
Mm,
In the building that they were showing, um, something about like new
that was
headquarters
a popular
for.
rebranding though, wasn't it?
Well,
Twix.
it's whatever. I still don't think anybody's really calling it X. I mean, maybe some
No,
people are, maybe he is, but we don't call it. We just, and we're not doing it just because we want to be obdurate and just not follow the
not
plan.
even Exhibit X calls it that.
Right.
Actually,
We just
he's
call
suing him.
we just call it Twix like the candy because it's funny.
Twix.
And
Yeah.
it's all good. So what's been happening as far as what you got going on with your tech? I mean, have you been reviewing phones? Have you been on that same cadence? I know you've been having some stuff going on, like with everything else in life just happens. So have you been
Where
able
is
to,
MPT's sim at the moment?
yeah, as far as what you
Well,
got going on?
so over the last several weeks, I have sold my S24. Well, a while back, I sold my Watch 5 Pro. Picked up
Hmm.
the because I had my OnePlus 12 and my OnePlus Watch 2 and the OnePlus Pad, which I kind of want to get the new pad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind trying.
I'm kind of sad that I didn't just wait on picking up the pad because the new one now you can get it for $4.99, so it would have only been like $50 more than the original pad.
Yeah.
Mm,
And you get the new processor and they
yeah,
kept all the features and you get the new UI. I'm kind of hoping that they'll bring that canvas mode
Oh
to
yeah.
the original because I
From
don't
the
see why
open.
they
Yeah.
couldn't with the processors. I mean the Dimensity 9000 is plenty powerful for running that
should be. Yeah,
UI.
yeah, it
Um,
should be.
some of the stuff though with OnePlus, I don't really want to get into, but they need to fix the UI. They have where you can bring up the tab, like the taskbar permanently, but when you're using gesture, it like cuts off because the apps don't understand that the taskbar is there. So you have to use the buttons and then it pushes it up right.
Oh, weird.
Um, but I don't like using buttons. I guess if I had the keyboard, it wouldn't be too bad because I could just, I would just use mouse for everything or whatever. But then you're having to bring your mouse over and click on, and it's weird. Um, so hopefully they fixed that. So anyway, I sold my S24 Ultra, sold my 15 Pro. I picked up a 15 Pro Max because I did it through my carrier because they have an upgrade anytime thing. So I figure I'll
Mhm.
pay on that for 2 months and then turn it in, and then I paid them like the 760. Well, let's see, I got the 512 gig, so basically $70, and then just pay the taxes on the new one and get the new one instead of being out. And if I do that for a year, because they do their plan over 36 months, I'm only ever paying out a third of the cost of the device, and I can upgrade every year. And I doubt I
Mm.
could. And iPhones have good sale, but unfortunately, when you go higher capacity, you don't get that much more in resale, and people aren't buying the newest anymore. They're going like 2 generations back and stuff. So,
Mm.
and then
Where
I
the
got
base models have moved on as well now, like 256 being the base in the Pro Max. People are
and I
happy with
got rid
256.
of my MacBook Pro and my Tab S9 Ultra, and basically I have my desktop PC that I built 6 years ago. And I guess if I really need to, I can grab my wife's Asus ZenBook 14X OLED that's got the 13700H in it if I want to do stuff. But my iPad's powerful, more powerful than those are, funny enough. And I just got the base model because I have a 1 terabyte T7 drive that I can edit on. And my edits are always fairly simple. Usually it's I sit down, I record, I clip out the first couple seconds where you like can see my finger reaching away from the record button, in the end where you see it reaching towards, and I'm done. And I use LumaFusion to do the noise voice isolation thing,
Oh yeah,
which
is that
does
good?
really well with that. It's better than I've tried like DaVinci Resolve and the other ones. Those usually sound really electronic. Whoever
Mm,
they hire to do the plugin for LumaFusion understands leaving like vocal depth where
yeah.
you still have bass in your voice, where noise isolation, because we all know that it does better at the lower end, tends to remove that even in the vocals. So whatever they're doing to isolate, it's fantastic. I mean, so half the time I'm recording on my iPhone and editing on it because I got plenty of storage. I
Yeah.
mean, if I wasn't doing videos, I could probably still use 64 gigs of storage in all honesty.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, if we're
it's
truthful.
yeah, if you're just doing the audio stuff, yeah, because I'm sure it's the video obviously is what's going to take up the storage with what we do. Because like I
But
said,
I
I
want to
mean,
be able to just record, leave some stuff on there for a while. If I'm out and about, record clips of my son and put those on there and different things. But yeah, so I'm pretty much back to Apple ecosystem stuff, but doing it through my carrier just because I needed to sell stuff. I needed money. My wife was off from work for a couple weeks for surgery, and so that kind of messed with some financial stuff. And I was like, and then our car had tire problems with the car, cracked rim. Ended up
Life,
paying
man, it
$60
always
to get that
flipping.
soldered because
yeah.
otherwise it's gonna be like $350 for a new rim. So just sold a bunch of stuff, basically all to one person too. So that worked out really well.
Oh, that's
I
candy. Oh,
don't know.
that
It was
yeah,
like he's like, next time you're gonna sell something, just let me know ahead of time.
yeah.
The funny
I'll
thing
buy.
is, I could. He lives 2 hours from me,
Right. He just kind of met him halfway or
so I
something.
could meet halfway, but he doesn't really care. I ship it, and it's usually there. Well, if I get there early enough of the day, it could get next day, but usually it's 2 days.
Yeah, that's
So
not terrible.
That's
No,
not
and if you're
bad
gonna
at all. Yeah.
I'd spend more
no,
on gas than shipping,
right, exactly,
unfortunately,
and time. Yeah.
and time. So
Well, that's good. Like I said, so I mean, there's just a lot going on. I mean, we're obviously starting to catch into the August and September timeframe. So now
Hmm.
I even forgot about the One Plus Two, the Pad 2. I forgot all about that. That was a thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not really
wouldn't
a
mind.
tablet guy. That looks pretty nice. I went to their website on
Mm,
One Plus. It looks pretty slick. If I was going to get a tablet, I would consider it. I mean, but I
I
would like
I'm
the
love
other
loving.
it.
cameras.
I'm loving OnePlus.
I don't have to have hotspot on my OnePlus phone because and the pad does data sharing, but it doesn't do it through hotspot. It uses like a direct connection mode.
Oh,
Okay.
So
okay.
essentially, if you have unlimited data on your plan, but you might not have unlimited hotspot, I know in overseas in countries, it's kind of like whatever data you have is whatever data you have. Carriers don't always limit your hotspot, but here in the States, sometimes you have unlimited data on regular things, but limited on your hotspot, and sometimes it's slowed
Oh,
down or
okay.
like
Yeah, it's throttled.
now
Yeah.
Visible has caught on to it, and they figured, and they do block it now. Because for a while they weren't, and I tested, and I could be like streaming 4K video
Yeah, it's because they want
using
you to buy a
their
SIM for the tablet.
Yeah.
That's
without
why, man.
because they limit their hotspot to 5 megs and like 480p video if
Mm.
you're connected that way. Well, so the one thing I want to try is VPN because the way that they do it, and that might work. But even not, like if you're just browsing online and maybe watching a live stream. I mean, I think 480p, you have it in a little window on your screen, it's going to be 720p this. By the time you break it down to a little window, 480p isn't going to be noticeable.
Mm.
If you're just doing basic stuff, I mean, I guess if you're trying to upload video, but then again, because the direct share thing, you could record on the OnePlus 12, send it over to the pad, edit on the pad on the larger screen, and then just send it back to the phone and upload at your phone's full speeds.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Or
mean,
mirror the phone over to the pad, edit with it, and then you don't have to transfer back and forth and it's done. But I mean, that's a feature that none of the other ecosystems really have. You're always hotspotting or
Mm.
you're, sharing stuff back and forth or you're
So a lot of
figuring out ways
devices, when
around.
you
So
hotspot, they get really hot. So like you really are hotspotting. It's like,
right. They
oh
get
wow.
really warm. Yeah.
and as far as battery life, like I was out I had both the OnePlus 12 and the OnePlus Pad charged
Mm.
up to 100%, and I was out sitting and like my wife was in the store, and I was sitting for like an hour, and I was just like scrolling through social media, and I watched like 20 minutes of YouTube and doing some stuff,
Mm.
and my phone and my tablet were at like 92%. After doing stuff for like an hour mixed use,
That's
like 20
pretty
minutes of video.
decent.
That's
Yeah.
not bad considering they're
Mm.
both using that connection and cellular, and it wasn't like, and it was 5G, but it was more like LTE speeds. So,
Yeah,
you're
but
not getting.
5G eats battery, right? So that
Mm,
makes it even more impressive.
and I was in a warm car, and my
Mm.
phone was just like sitting there, but neither of them felt hot. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I could see where if you're doing a little bit more, you could probably get a work day use out of doing that type of thing.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. It's a decent use case, isn't it? I think it's a good ecosystem. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
absolutely.
excited about OnePlus, like what they're going to do in the future.
And this thing is just beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice watch. I do like it.
The two are. It's interesting. They went back to the like normal where it doesn't have like the bump out, but it's still got the
Mm.
two buttons. But they're both round. I kind of like how with the two they did the elongated button on the bottom,
Mm.
so that way you don't really have to think about which button you're pressing. Or and some people like to, you can flip it so your buttons are on like the inside instead of towards your hand. Well, this way you don't have, if you did that, you'd have to remember that now your buttons might be reversed. Well, with this, they're two
Yeah.
different shapes, so you'd be
Yeah,
able to kind of
you
recognize
can just
it.
feel it straight away. So easy.
And the
The only
band
thing,
is nice. Like,
just
the
the only
only
thing
thing
that's
I
a bit
don't.
weird with it though, like the top button, it looks like it should rotate like a little crown,
Mhm.
but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you move it, and it does nothing.
Yeah, it looks like it feels like it should do something, and that's such a shame. 'Cause that'd be nice. And do you know what? It'd be great if you could unlock it with the other button because it looks like a little fingerprint scanner, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It would
that'd
be
be kind
kind
of
of
cool.
neat.
That'd be a neat feature, like before you pay for things, for example. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I missed and I mean, you're talking about a $250 watch, so as
Mm,
everything I mean, most of the features of everything that you want, you got your
mm.
your O2, your heart rate, everything is no remote camera. So like you have such a great camera and even video. Like I've recorded some phones with the OnePlus 12 and nobody knew that like I was recording videos with that and the audio quality and everything. I didn't even edit the audio because I don't have LumaFusion for Android. I was dumb when I bought it and I got the Galaxy version
Uh,
because it was out first.
yeah, that was
And
that was
then
when the
literally the next
S8
day
Ultra Tab came out, right?
Yeah.
That's when it first came out.
they dropped it
Mm.
for like on the Play Store because people were complaining they made it available early. And I wish I could have been like, Samsung, will you just refund me? And I'll just, because it's the same version, because I thought maybe
Yeah,
there were going to be like extra stuff. Nope. So I don't have, and then I was going to try to use CapCut, but CapCut, um, unless you get their subscription, they only output 1080p.
yeah.
Once you apply effects, if you don't apply certain things, um, then they'll still let you do 4K, which is weird, but I think it's 4K 30 or something like that,
Mm. Which is
which I
good
guess will
enough.
be fine. But
Mm.
I want to, if I'm going to use it, it's going to use it to do like the voice isolation, the the auto transcription, like closed captioning thing is pretty accurate on there.
It's
Although
not bad.
sometimes it
Yeah, it's not
messes
bad.
things up a little bit.
It doesn't always capture though, which annoys me. So like say you have a series of videos, it might do it for three of them, but not one of them, I find. Which
Right.
is really frustrating.
And I had the Galaxy Book 4 Edge, and then returned it.
How was that?
And then 2 days later, the app developers updated their apps to fix the issues I was having.
He was having
So
them issues. Okay.
CapCut was doing where I guess it launches if you look in the task manager, but it basically goes up on screen and then goes away real quick. And
Yeah.
then like Resolve just it was super slow and laggy, even though they were one of the companies that are like our beta is, it's in a beta, but it still supports. So for me, it was like, well, I can't do anything other than like what would just. I wanted to describe it as iPad OS but worse. So like it's basically it's like, oh, it's great. Like this would be awesome in a tablet to have this performance and throw on a keyboard for like certain things. And the display was beautiful. The speakers were a little tinny. They didn't have a lot of bass, but they weren't bad for Windows. I think Asus does a little bit better with their speakers. I like the fact that like you have the whole ecosystem thing. They don't make you like you don't have to sign into every individual Samsung app anymore. Once you sign into your Samsung account, all the apps sign in when you go in. That was the thing. The Galaxy Book Pro 360 when they announced that they're like, it's as easy as setting up as your Galaxy phone, except for it's not really. Once you get it, it pisses you off because you have to sign into Windows. Oh, and then at the time, OneDrive was their own thing, so you had to sign into your OneDrive account, and then Google Photos, and then Samsung, you had to sign into your Samsung account for Samsung settings, and then every individual app you had to sign in. And then because I had two-factor authentication set up, you're sitting there every single app you sign in, waiting for your PIN to get to you.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
And then
I
if you
hate
don't
waiting.
have your Samsung device on you for some reason, then you just can't log in, and you have to wait till you get home. And, and it's like, oh man. So now I'm down to basics of things, pretty much one phone and one tablet, one watch, one. It was like I said, and battery life is great, but like if you're just doing media consumption and basic stuff, it's great, but not for a $1,400.
Yeah, and I honestly just we do it because we're tech enthusiasts and stuff. But I think most people, they're not rocking all that stuff. They're not having to worry about logging into this device and they're watching their phone and their tablet and their headset and they're just like they may have a computer that you barely use. They may have a tablet they kind of watch Netflix on, or maybe their kids watch it while they're on traveling or whatever. And then they have their phone and they keep it for 1 or 2 or 3 years. When where I walk about and I just kind of watch people. I don't see a lot of people have like the newest version of any phone, right? They have an S23 Ultra, or they'll have a Moto something or another. They'll have an iPhone, but very rarely, unless you look at the bottom, you can see the port. It's hard for me to look at a 13, a 14, and a 15 just at a glance and know that it's not, oh, that's a 12, that's a 13. With Android's a little easier. So I think for the most part, people just kind of, if they get a tablet, I know a lot of people have had tablets for years. I mean, they don't even know about OnePlus. I haven't seen a OnePlus tablet anywhere other than a tech person.
I mean, if I went like this and went like this and went like this, if you didn't know the cases and didn't really realize, you might not know which one of these is the none of the the iPhone and the Nothing Phone 2A. Don't look at yourself when you're on camera and try to orient your hands correctly for like which.
That's why we don't do stuff like this, because we are terrible at that kind of stuff. We never do the alignment right. We always look like idiots.
Face in my it's that same effect where like the trick where you take your hand, you put it out, and they put a mirror or board in between. They put a fake hand, and they like stab the fake hand, and you flinch because you think your brain just doesn't associate because you're looking at it. But I don't know.
It's all I know is we're getting into that time of the year where you're going to see the Nothing phones have come out, the CMF phone came out, Galaxy's had their event, the Pixel stuff is coming out soon, so it's a good time for everybody. If you're looking to upgrade, I'm just looking at the Fold 6 and you just go, yeah, it's nice. I don't know if I want to restart it all and trade my Fold 5 in and try to go to the Fold 6. The processor would be nice. It's cool. At least it would be one less year of folding it, right? So, durability would be a little less of a concern. But I don't know. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. And if I had maybe a Fold 3 or Fold 4, yeah, that would probably be a little easier to swallow. But looking at it as a Fold 5 user, I don't know, unless you're like Mike, it's got anytime upgrading, it pretty much washes and you can get a newer thing and be very little out of pocket.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, if you can pull that off, great. And if you can't, but you have to come up with actual money.
I mean, it's still kind of pricey because you think about it. So like, if I do, I have the 15 Pro Max, the 512 gigs. So by the time if you pay it out for a year, you're looking at $430 in payments, and then your taxes that you paid on top. So you're still, out $500 and some dollars, but you're not out
for your airtime as well, though.
$1,600. Well, yeah, but also here's the thing. So I went to Spectrum Mobile because we're not using a ton of data. and we get 2 lines for $50 and it's 50 gigs a line. So like before, I was on T-Mobile and we had their unlimited, but we were paying like $180 just for service. Now we have our phones, our watches, and service, and we're paying this like $20 less than that. So it's kind of crazy, and being able to upgrade just any year. And the thing is with that, like, I'm also saving because I'm not getting Apple Care on there, because their thing is if you go to return it and it's broken, you give them $99. Well, a year of Apple Care is $120 plus whatever your cost to fix would be. So I'm thinking, and I'm pretty careful. I've only ever had like 2 phones that have had that happen. And one was my Vivo, and that was my fault. I didn't have a good case on it, and it hit that curved edge.
You just cracked
The
it.
other was an iPhone, and somehow it bounced off from carpet, hit tile, was in a case, and still broke.
Yeah, happens. Happens
but
sometimes.
Even then, the cost of that, like if you think about if you had to pay a couple $100 to get that repaired and then turn around and give it back to them, you're still half your cost of what you would, Yeah.
So we'll see. We're going to, obviously the iPhone 16 series is coming out. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of months. And we're going to be obviously here talking about it, I'm sure, and having guests on and just me and Joe talking about it. But it's a good time. Obviously, I just think we're a lot of said, unless something magical happens. I just seeing the CMF phone come out that it has a little bit of a different take on something. That's pretty refreshing to me, as opposed to just iterative stuff. Then you're like, well, I don't know. But if you're looking for another phone, or you want a knock around phone that you wouldn't put a case on because it's only $230 or $50, who cares if you drop it and crack it? Who gives a shit, right? You just throw it out the door, and then you can have some fun with it, right? You can switch up the look of it, and it doesn't cost you a whole lot. I don't know. It's kind of, I'm happy to see that companies are still trying to be refreshing with their stuff.
Yeah,
just kind of
definitely, man.
And especially making it not, $800 or $600 or $500. I mean, literally, it's sub $300. That's pretty good, and it's showing you how good a phone that's sub $300. I mean, remember if you go to the store, go like 4 or 5 years ago, a phone that was $200, it would be practically unusable, and it would just be a plastic, lame, boring kind of. You know what I mean? It's kind of homogenous across this landscape. Now you've got this cool phone that's got, like nothing's got glyphs and lights and removable backs and cool shit like that. I know it's kind of cool. I just, it's a nice refreshing change. If you want to be the Samsung S24 or iPhone 16 Plus Ultra Max Extreme person, cool. There's a market for you, but there's also a market for people who don't want to do that and just want to get in, have something that's kind of cool, and not have to break their bank.
I mean, I think most people, if I said, hey, I took that photo with a phone that I paid $385, including taxes and the $15 for the case, I don't think they would have guessed that.
No.
I mean, it took that on this phone. Or I have the microphone here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the depth on that's pretty good. The dynamic range. Yeah, I edited it a little bit in Google Photos, but and I've shot some video and stuff. I don't think people would guess that that's $385 shipped. That was the $15 they charge you for the case, which I didn't think was bad because the case was actually really good.
For an OEM case, that's not bad. Yeah.
And you get everything in the box, and basically everything. Well, they didn't throw a charger in there, but it's got 45-watt charging. So you go and you pay, $15-$20 on Amazon, and you can get a GAN, like even one of the older Anchor chargers. That's going to charge that. So.
And Aditya's point is correct. Like I said, if you're good looking, and if you're not good looking, look at Extreme Skins and make your phone look better. It protects it from the scratchy scratches. You can change the colors, and it's not a whole black plate, so that's fair. But hey, sometimes you don't get a full black plate to replace, so you got to go with this, and it's a good idea. Great shipping, quality dudes, quality materials. Don't have to pay a whole lot, and you can change your color. Get a whole bunch of them. Get 5 or 6.
Skin your shit.
And skin your shit and change it every couple of weeks, or let them know you care. So tell them we sent you. And there's always got good deals going on for extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. And also, we sent you. It's cool. Be a cool dude. Just be a good human and just do what we say. We're not asking for much, folks. We're not asking for love or loyalty. Just go check them out. And if you find something, just snag it and let them know. Send them a nice email. They love that.
Anyone want to buy a Pixel Fold?
Nah. Not right now. I'm gonna wait
So
to see.
that's
I'm
it.
really gonna see. I'm gonna see what the new Pixel Fold looks like, and then honestly, if it doesn't really move the needle, I might look for one because I figured they're gonna start flooding the market as people are gonna trade them in for the new one.
Yeah, I'm not going to
I
ever
might.
sell mine.
Yeah, it's
So
and
that's
I'm just
the
curious to see.
that's the funny thing. So I had actually originally gotten the Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5 with my carrier and was on their lower plan. And then they announced the upgrade anytime thing for $10 more a month per. And so I just upgraded to that. You had to be on it for like 3 months. And then turned those in, which then it's $15 a line less for the
Right.
iPhones than it is for the. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
it's
more than
mad.
that. It's like $17 less.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
and so then so and I didn't and when I originally did it, they didn't have you pay the taxes on your original when they were doing that originally, but now when you do your trade-in stuff, because I guess they include that in your monthly payment. Originally, that's how they were doing it, but now they don't do that. But I
Yeah.
figure, I didn't. They were just paperweights, and no way I was gonna be able to sell those things for. I
Yeah.
mean,
Exactly.
it's crazy. You can get a Z Fold 4 right now on Amazon for like it was $427 or something like that. I was like,
Yeah. And I'm just
I
trying to get
told
away
somebody
from
do that. I
having.
told somebody they were
Yeah.
gonna get the Fold 6, and they were like, "This is gonna be like my first Fold or whatever." I was like, "So what you do is you go on Amazon and you buy that one, and then you turn it into Samsung and get your $1,000 for it because they were only giving you $200 more for the Fold 5." So I was
Right.
like, just get the Fold 4 because the Fold 5 was still selling for a pretty good chunk of change used market. So just get the 4, and then yeah, you might have to wait. You got to wait for the Amazon to get it to you. It'll take a couple days. And here's the thing: you have 30 days to send your trade-in in.
Yeah. I mean,
They
yeah,
don't
it's a
ask
good.
for IMEI or anything right away, so you just do that.
Yeah.
Order the one, get it from Amazon. If it's in really crappy condition, send it back to them. Do it again until you get
Yeah.
one that is. But they're pretty good. I got a Fold 3, I think it was. Yeah, because I had bought it, returned it, and then decided later I got one for like $600 on Amazon and used it. And then I turned that into Samsung when the Fold 4 came out. When they gave me, because that was when they were doing the ridiculous thing, and I paid like $200 to get the Fold 5 then.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you get
So,
creative and you got enough time and you want to may have all that mechanics and go for it, I'd say
but
you can get some really good deals. Personally, I don't have enough time for that crazy shit. Like I'm not buying a phone to trade a phone in, to flip a phone, to return a phone. It's a pain in the ass. But I mean, if
It's
you want
hard.
to
It
do
is
it,
hard work, man.
it's just a lot of effort. And I'm just trying to get. Also the reason why I want to upgrade my Fold 5 is I'm trying to clear all that stuff on AT&T. I just want to have service, and also want to have flexibility that if I want to change a carrier, I can just get a basic service plan as long as the data works. And I don't have to keep being this kind of cycle where I'm always upgrading and constantly having to be indebted and on the hook for all. It's just a pain in the butt. So I'm trying to do that. So that's another motivation to not upgrade the 5, right? Just kind of and just clear all those off, and then I can get away from AT&T altogether and have some choice.
The other thing I might do is, depending on what Apple does with the 16, I might just hold on to my 15 Pro Max and then just continue to get like cases from Amazon if companies want to send me 16 Pro Max cases to review. Well, actually, my wife has a 15 Pro Max as well, so I'll probably upgrade mine, and then I can still do cases on both and still compare devices. Because
Yeah.
my thing is, if I'm just going to pay the taxes to essentially upgrade this year plus the like $60 I paid, if I get enough case companies sending me stuff, it's worth having them send me those cases than holding onto it and then buying cases for an older device, because people are probably searching for the new stuff. And then next year, I won't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Unless my channel starts making money and can pay enough that it's paying off my device.
Yeah, that
But
helps.
that's the other thing. Roberto Blake suggested that I start uploading to Amazon whenever I get when I buy cases or get cases sent to me and stuff. Because he said you only have to do 10 videos to get approved for their program. And even if you get where you get maybe $5 a case in kickback or whatever for when people click on your link, It's like if you think about that, if you do 10 videos, and let's say 100 people buy, well, that's $500. Then you do 10 more as you go out. He's like, it's not uncommon that by the time somebody's at their first year, they'll be making like $5,000 a month just doing
Wow.
stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's just like,
even if it was $100 a month, that'd be enough to cover a life payment. I'd do it, you know?
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I mean, so it gives you some opportunity, and hopefully the channel grows. And like I said, we're gonna, anybody has a chance, check out Michael Pepper Tech. We're gonna get out of here because we're at 1:15 and we need to go.
Yeah, you'll go to
Joe
work, didn't you, Sam?
Yeah, I got stuff to do. Joe's got stuff to do. Michael's always got something going. He's a busy man. So we appreciate.
I do a fake made up outro for you?
That's fine. Go for it. We don't care because we don't have one. Ours suck. So
yeah, we need one.
Don't forget to watch Nomad Tech, where nobody's mad, everybody's happy. Don't forget to get on the skinny and skin your shit.
There you go. That's pretty good. I like that.
I like it.
We appreciate that. Thanks for jumping on. I know it's we had a communication mismatch, but it's all good. But like I said, always welcome to come on the show, and maybe next time when you have your schedule, we can maybe get a full show that we don't have to do an abbreviated.
Yeah, that'd be better. Yeah.
Especially after we have more chats about when all this tech starts to roll through. We have a lot of good opinions about it. We can have a good long
24 days till the Pixel event on August 13th.
There you go, man. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm really curious to see what the fold looks like. So we'll see, and we'll have you on again. And Joe, is there anything else before we let people have the rest of their Saturday? Haha, not Sunday. The rest of their Saturday back.
Yeah, I was going to plug my friend's podcast. If you're into the Breaking Bad, right? I'm going to rewatch it actually because my friend's doing a podcast where they review every episode. Mm-hmm. It's the hyperbaric goats. You know, the guys who give the only fools and horses and that. Yeah, so they've got one now where they're reviewing Breaking Bad. So that's going to make me want to rewatch it. And it's a bloody good show actually. It's worth watching. And the guys on the podcast are very funny as well. So yeah, I'm going to do them in tandem together.
Yep, the hyperbaric goats. We'll make sure we put a link on the chat also to any of Michael Pepper's socials and all that kind of stuff. So you can make sure we follow along with him and see what's going on with that. And for that, we'll go ahead and get out of here. Enjoy your Saturday. Again, no show tomorrow. We won't be. That's why we did it today. We don't get to.
Yeah, I'm going to a 60th birthday party. So happy birthday, Grumps.
There you go, Grumps. Is that like Nan or something? I don't know. So
yeah, that's what search as Grumps. Yeah.
So for myself, for Joe, for Michael Pepper Tech, thanks for tuning in. Again, remember sure you download the podcast after I upload it. And stay healthy, everybody. Make sure you hydrate because Jimmy will be mad at you don't. And also be excellent to each other and don't be a dick. And we'll see you next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.